Look, you got your ear to the ground, as much as anybody else, Albert, and you're very attuned to what you hear more than others. And so you've heard what I've heard too over the last several years, rumors that Russell and the Seahawks aren't really as copacetic as somebody who says "Go Hawks" at the end of every interview, and we've heard that. Now this stuff is out, nothing happened. You even heard like, hey, every year for the draft, like keep an eye on the Seahawks choosing a quarterback. Doesn't happen. Yeah. Now though, it's out in the open. Now what we've been hearing rumblings is now flat out in the open. But stop me from from feeling like nothing's going to happen anyway. Because that's the way I feel like it's going to be out in the open. But now this is the ultimate shot across the bow of whatever that means, that he's going to force his way out or demand his way out. It doesn't seem like this is going to happen still. Am I wrong, or are you keep hearing the Bears are?
You know what I thought was interesting. We all made a big deal out of Josh, and look, like Russell's camp made a big deal out of it too. Like John Schneider showing up at Josh Allen's pro day. Was it 3 years ago now? 3 years ago now,
yeah,
right?
2018.
Yeah, so they made a big deal out of that. And where was John Schneider last Friday? Do you know?
Was he at Trey Lance's?
Yep, he was front and center at Trey Lance's pro day. Now think about this: like if he was going to, if he was going to say Ohio State to go see Justin Fields or Alabama to go see Mac Jones, it's easy to kind of say, okay, like, well, I was there to see this player or that player. If you're going to North Dakota State, I know they've got a lineman there who's pretty good, but you're probably there to see the quarterback. And so, I just think that and I know John likes to go see all the quarterbacks in person. But to me, I think that's there was something symbolic about that too, which is we're going to operate like we've always operated, and yes, we're going to try to put a really good team around you, Russell. But we're not going to be held hostage by this situation. We're going to kind of move forward, and I really have to believe, Rich, just knowing what I know, that Russell Wilson signed his last contract with the Seahawks. Now, things could change over the next 2 or 3 years. There could be different people in charge for all we know. But I think right now the likelihood is that Russell has signed his last contract with the Seahawks. And then the question becomes, okay, well, then when do they move him? And how does he wind up on another team? And they have 3 years to figure that out, And so I don't think it happens this year in part because they don't have a first-round pick. They don't have a clear answer on who would be the quarterback after Russell Wilson on the roster, a clear path to that, because they don't have a first-round pick this year. But I certainly think that this is something that's going to linger. And again, I don't think that the Seahawks are going to suddenly go on hands and knees to Russell Wilson and say whatever you want. And I think that John Schneider showing up in Fargo last Friday was as good an illustration of that as any that we've got.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.